Hello everybody, it's Tim with TD Sports Cards. Today I kind of wanted to open up a random box. Just basically looking for the Jordans, but there's also the Birds, the Magics, and other Hall of Famers that are in this. But there's this box is update series, 1991 update. Also, let's see, you can see it on the box right there. It's got the limited edition Mutombo and Dominique Wilkins you can find in this. And obviously if you can find them, then get them in a 10. It's the blue border, so it's a harder border to grade. This update series. You're looking for the team leaders are in this. Any the rookies in the trades. There isn't that many really good rookies in this. So you're basically looking for the Hall of Famers. That's the main thing you want to look at. But we're going to open this and see what we could find in it. I'm going to top load as I go. Because that's how I do a lot of grading. So this will end up being, that's how I just protect the cards. Whether they're 9s or 8s or whatever. Because of the centering issues, obviously. But, you know, opening these boxes are fun products. I believe the Provisions are in this, I think. Because I think they're in Series 1 and Series 2. Or it's a regular flare, I mean. And then the update, I think they're in here also. There's the team card for the playoffs. I think it's playoffs with the Bulls. Magic's main card is not in this, but you got the players card. You got the team leaders cards, and like I say, I think the Provision also. Then you're looking for those limited edition. All right, so without further ado, let's bust this and see what we get. It's a sealed box. So let's rock and roll. Your nice little flip top. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and take these right out of here. Throw that there as a background. And then, like I said, we're going to rip and slab and top load as we go. Alright. I like the packaging on this already. It's nice and tight. So instead of going like this and popping the corners, you're just going to have to take a little bit of time to get one side open so you can go off the top. You don't want to mess up all the corners. Then we go from there. I'm going to make my stacks as we go. It's Robinson, Bud Webb, Bonner, McMillan, Cage, Saronis. Can't remember if he's in the Hall of Fame. This is his second year. Can't remember. There's Coach Card, Bristow, Greg Sutton, John Starks, Greg Anthony for the UNLV, Larry Johnson squad, Benny Johnson, Terry Mills, Monroe, and Henry James. I do like the centering on this, like this one here. It's off top to bottom, but left to right is good. You'll find in some of these that the boxes tend, or half the box tends to be really one way. So you just have to play it by ear. It's Mark Macon, Haley, Green, Klein, there's Vlade. And that one's, like I said, is off top to bottom. Team leaders, Charles Smith. That's a good, we got team leader set pack. There's Glenn Rice. I'm going to put the team leaders in his own pile. And there's the Michael. Nice. Look left to right, looks centered good. Top to bottom, looks off. So, that one, 9 or 8 would be my guess. If I remember right, that should be more centered top to bottom. But you got a Michael right away. Derek Harper, his stuff is actually has value in it also. Kevin Lardy, Manute Bol. Yeah, I'm just gonna put that right there. Sean Green, Paul Graham, Brad Davis. Yeah, so you can see this box is more off top to bottom. So I want to keep the cards crisp because you never know, these 8s might come into play. You know, card values going up for these older boxes and so on. So never know. Keep them, protect them, and you get some value out of them later on. Just throwing them in a stack. I mean, you can say it's a common, but commons are worth money. Look at Jordan commons. Technically, back in the day, those were commons that came out, even though he was a star player. So Sally, Blanks, Simmons, Davis, Lever, Joe Glass, Scotty Brooks. That one's nicely centered. Joe Dumars, left to right, and top to bottom. It's a little tad white, but that might be able to rub off. But rub off, I mean just go like this, and it can straighten up. That's a good one. Battle, Tony Smith, Colin, Stanley Roberts, and the checklist. Now the checklists do have value. Let's see. Yeah, because it's got the Jordan on it down here. You can see it's got the Jordan. Birds up top. So this one's off a little bit top to bottom, right to left. So this would be like probably an 8 at best, but we'll do that because it's got the Jordan on it. If you look at some of the other ones, I looked at a few other years, and some of the checklists in a 10 were going for 55. I think that was either the 87 player or the 88 player. So there is value. There's a good one. Larry Bird, Eccles, Williams, Hughes Rivers, George, D. Brown slam dunk. There's also a Jordan. There's a Barkley. There's a Drexler, Lister, Ellie, Sam Perkins, and Gog. Alright. So this one here we know is off top to bottom. Left to right is a little bit. This one's off top to bottom and left to right. So you're looking for how much, for them both being off like that, you're looking at probably an 8. Might come into play later, you never know. But I always top load the Hall of Famers. Always, 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 whenever I open boxes myself. Alright, let's go. Got Turner, Reggie Lewis, Bennett, Oliver, Askins, Payne, Romeo Robinson. So a lot of these are rookies, so but this is a weaker class. Joe Dumars. There's an Akeem, Adams, Hammonds, Kenny Smith slam dunk. That one's actually pretty centered. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pack and Longley. So this one, you look top to bottom, looks good, and left to right looks pretty good. At worst, a 9. His rookies are actually going up also. So, like I said, you just never know. Kenny Smith was a pretty good guard. Now, he was undervalued, underrated. Another one is Mark Price was underrated, his rookie cards and everything. So that's something to just keep an eye on, guys. You got everybody else's rookie cards going up. You got to remember, Mark Price led the league in free throws, and he had a scoring. He had a bunch of assists. He was just behind Stockton all the time. All right, Elvin Campbell, Mitch Richmond, Turner, Lang. We got a limited edition. Looky there. Looky there. I don't like that top edge, though. That sucks. Off left to right, top to bottom, looks good. So we're off left to right, plus we got that. So you're looking at 8 or 9, but these are hard to pull. But yeah, that's a nice one. Get Richmond out of the way. All right, Mahorn, Bedford, Ceballos. Now, if this was, what is it, the 86? No, not the 86. What year was that? The one where after Ceballos is a Jordan. Oh, that's the Archives I'm thinking of. Yeah, I was watching. I'm friends with Matt, with PSA Collector. So I was watching his videos. So there's your update checklist. And then looking on here, there's Mutombo. Let's see. Yeah, there isn't that much on that one, but it's actually close to being centered. Off a little bit left to right, just a hair top to bottom. But let's top load it for right now. Mr. Kevin Willis. People forget about him. His rookies are cheap. But Willis was like a 2012 guy for a long time. He had a pretty good little career. He had a few years in the 25s, I believe. So, 25 points. All right. So we got Rollins, King, Williams. There's an Akeem. Just a hair off top to bottom, left to right. So it's possible 9. Gaddison, Walker, Chuck Pearson. Team leaders, Ricky Pierce, Michael Adams, Derek Coleman, Skiles, and Sedell. I think that's when he went from Lakers to Seattle. Something like that. People forgot about Sedell 3. He was actually a good ball handler. Good ball handler, and he could score when he needed to score. Decent shooter. Great passer. Decent defense. So he was actually on the Lakers for a while also, and they were good. All right, Rich King, Janet Barros. I used to like that guy. He used to shoot the crap out of the ball. Dawkins, Green, Vinny Johnson, Xavier, McCormick. Like some of these are rookies or guys that were traded typically. Just like they were like for baseball, it's Augman, another UNLV guy. Derek Coleman. Yeah, it's his rookie. Somewhat there. I don't know, maybe a 9. But yeah, that UNLV team. They had 2 good runs. First one that they won it, which was what? 90, either 89 or 90. And they lost like 5 games, won it, and the next year they just dominated, but then lost to, which was the shocker, what was it? Duke, I think, with Leitner. Something like that. Yeah, that was the shocker in the final game. They were blowing everybody out by like 30 points that year. Yep, there's a Stockton. It's Worthy. Evan Robertson. Brett Doherty. There's a Mutombo. Carr, Davis, Turner, Cheeks, Steve Smith. He's another good guard. Dwayne Shinsis. I think that's his rookie. Karambis. Kurt was one of those dirty players that he didn't mind getting his hands dirty. Talking everybody thinks that about Karl Malone, but Karl Malone, he did it and scored a lot of 25-point average years, and had what do you call it? 25-point average years and had what 10-12 rebounds a game. And he was at the time he was actually a great passer for him. He was an insider. He's a big guy, so he's underrated. He's high up there in the scoring list. People forget about that. He played a long time because then he played I think 3 or 4 other teams after he left Utah. One of them was the Lakers near the end of his career. Sparrow, Hodge, Smith, Thurley, Doug West, Edwards, Ziano, Kessler, Sam Vincent, Jay Vincent, Michigan State with Matthew Johnson. And Jay Vincent, if I remember right, owns the professional league down in South Africa. He's owned that for a long time. But they've done good. Actually, what's funny is out of Sam Vincent, we actually bought his, when I lived in Michigan, we actually bought his pool table. It was a pain in the butt. It was an oversized table. They actually took out the glass to put it in, so that was interesting to get the pool table out. Very interesting. Aldanabi, Brenovic. That was kind of weaker pack. But yeah, it was that pool table was interesting to move. My dad and I were just talking about that about a week ago. All right. Chilcutt, Keith Owens, which that was a big card back then. But Owens, Ellis, Anderson, Knight, Kevin Johnson, Lionel Simmons, team leader, Alexander, or Billy Owens. That's right, it was Owens, Billy Owens. Yeah, that was the one, that was the big card back then. That was a bust. Byron Scott, good card. Morton, there's a Mutombo, Woolridge, and Moses Malone. Moses Malone, Hall of Famer, points scoring leader. I can't remember. I think he won an MVP. But yeah, Moses Malone had a great career. I've seen his the 86 Flares and 87 Flares prices go up. See, this one's nicely centered, left to right and top to bottom. It's pretty. That's probably a 10. That's all we're looking for. Get a few of these Hall of Famers, get some 10s, pull a few Jordans, Birds, Magics, and then call it good. I think I picked this box up, a couple months ago. It was, I think it was paid like 25 or 26 with shipping. Coach card, which is common. It's Bud, Trader Sacramento. I remember pulling that card back in the day when I was a kid. Chris Mullen, Hall of Famer. Pearson, Stewart, Wingate, Dudley, Brower, Young, Dominique, Rex Chandler, Nervous Purvis Ellison. Story of him. He could dominate a game if he wanted, and then near the end, he always figured out how to not make easiest stuff. And then you put him at the free throw line, could never make anything, even though he was like a 80-85% shooter. Yeah, he was great for 3 quarters, and then just didn't work for him. He had a decent career though. But yeah, he was one that you pull in the beginning of the 4th quarter. As his career went on, just because you already knew what was going to happen. There's Kerr, Coach Kerr. All right. Oh, we got another one. Limited edition, and this one looks good top to bottom. It's off a little bit left to right, but the corners look good. Yeah, this one probably a 9. I don't think they'll give me a 10 because it's harder grading now, but that one looks like a good 9. That's what it looks like on the back. 1 of 12. But well, that's good. We got one of each. Gustav, Garland, Walter Davis, Eric Lechner, Benoit, Rudd. There's another checklist. Ryan Williams. He's one that disappeared. Oh gosh, I can't remember where he was from. He played with a guy that I went to high school with at Arizona, at Orlando. It's not Fresno, but I think his home is somewhere overseas or something, or Bahamas. He went or something, and mysteriously came up missing. They can never find his body. Pretty crazy. Well, Purdue, Kerr. Yep, that was a crazy thing that happened. Came up missing, and they still can't find him. I remember reading something on that the other day also. Still can't find it. So, someone took him, robbed him, probably killed him because he was a big guy. Who knows? But very sad story. But he was part of during that time with Arizona. I think I had Gilbert Arenas, had my guy I went to high school with, Sean Rooks. He passed away, a year or two ago in January, I think it was. Supposed to meet his dad. Was in Jersey. Was going to the Knicks. He was coaching ABA, or the developmental league, I think, or something like that. He was going to go to the Knicks for an interview, so he was at a restaurant. Was talking to his dad. Said, "All right, I got to go. I'm going to go to the interview," and died, and fell over and died. Yep, big guy. He's like, Sean was what, 6'10", 6'11". All-State. There's Larry Johnson. There's Reggie, and that one's pretty centered. Dave Robinson. Oh, we got a bunch of them. It's a good pack. But yeah, Sean Rooks, very sad. Said he was 2 years older than me, but he had a heart issue for a while, most of his life actually. So that was pretty sad. When I heard that was him and I used to shoot hoops together in the gym and then outside, and Stockton, Campbell, Ewing, Pierce, Carr, Rasmussen, and Henson. But yeah, him and I used to shoot hoops together. He used to give me a ride home every now and then. He had a big station wagon. Remember that? I remember he was like, what, 6'10" or something. I like to say 6'10" or something. He was a big guy. He actually played with bounced around for a little bit. I think got drafted by Dallas. Eventually played with Shaq and the Lakers. Because they needed a practice guy. This near end of Sean's career. Needed a practice guy to bounce around with Shaq at practice, and Sean was a big guy. But yeah, Sean Rooks, nice guy. Sutton, Starks, Greg Anthony, Jay Humphreys, Trey Mills, Monroe, James, Blott, Bowie, Vincent, Herrera, Hanson, and Craig Hodges. But yeah, that was a bad pack. Yeah, just different stories. Like way back in the day, I used to coach a couple girls. Oh, this might be one of those good packs. Yep, there's a Jordan right off the bat. Back in the day, I used to coach a lot, from youth to college. Actually a pro. Did some semi-pro football. But I used to do one-on-ones and everything. I was kind of known in Michigan. Well, I coached these two girls, and come to find out, they were, or the one girl, I'm sorry, and it was Elle Horford's little sister. Or Elle Horford's, actually, she was older sister at the time. So I coached her high school volleyball, and great athlete. There's Berkeley. But she, so when I was coaching her, she goes, "Hey, you want to meet my dad?" So I walk over, and Tito, her dad, stands up, and I'm like, "Whoa." But she was average, kind of like average, tall girl height. Like, she was like 5'9" or something, 5'8". And, yep, it was pretty. He stood up, we met, and I was married at the time, so basically, me, Tito, and my wife, he helped me with practices and stuff like that for volleyball. And even when I did camp, when I did certain camps, he helped out. So when I did like a basketball camp, he would pop in, knew that I was doing it, and without even asking too much or whatever, he would jump in and help with my coach the big guys. That's a nicely centered one. Help the big guys at my basketball camps that I did. So it was fun. But he did one-on-ones with his son Al for a while. Just back when Al was what, 15, 16. He was hitting his growth spurt, or 16, 15, 16. He was hitting his growth spurt, and so it was kind of awkward to a certain extent. And then he kind of got better, and by the time of junior and senior year, that's another good pack. And then Tito obviously did good. Went to Florida, won 2 championships with the Gators, and then went to who did he get drafted by? Oop, got a mental block on that now. But he's had I think he was 5 or 6 7-time All-Star or something like that. That was decent. To do Mars. And he's putting up a good career. If he could play for another 3-4 more years, he actually has a shot at the Hall. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of fun to see him grow from 15, 16 to, he's what, 34 now? Something like that. It was 33, 34. So it's good to see him grow. Yeah, this box has been pretty good so far. But, what I did. There we go. It's going to pull the Jordans. I'll show them at the end. We're just over halfway. Well, we're halfway through. So let's keep rocking. All right. There's another bird. Yeah. There's a Sean Kemp. Williams. Hughes. Rivers. George. Campbell. There's Barkley. Clyde the Glide. So it wasn't a bad pack. But you can see the centering off the top to bottom quite a bit. But it's part of the gig on these older ones, especially like this time. They didn't have good quality control. Yep, I throw this back there. If you guys haven't seen it yet, there's my 87 Magic Johnson in a 10. I might be listing that. I was debating, but me being from Michigan, I'd like to get his 86 and then get his rookie one. I'll get one of these days. Let's play it by ear. All right, let's keep moving. I'll push those back and start making a new pile. But Yep, so I haven't seen the team card for Chicago yet. Bowles, Corbin, the checklist. Turner, Lewis, Bennett, Oliver, Haskins, Payne. Oh, there we go. Big leaders, Michael. So we got it, and it's centered top to bottom and pretty close left to right. That's going to be a 9 or a 10. Yeah, it's off a little bit left to right, but top to bottom looks pretty good. So that's a good one. All right. Keep moving. Got Joe D, Hakeem's, good pack again. Michael Adams, Hammond. Yeah, it's close. So out of this box, if I can get a couple Jordans to grade, maybe all of them, the way everything's going, and if I can get maybe about 4 or 5 of the star cards and a couple of the rookie cards to gem, then it's definitely worth it and a win-win. But these older boxes, compared to buying them in lots and where they've already kind of been picked through, if you buy those kind of lots on eBay or whatever, and where they're picked through, your best is like 9s and 8s typically. Every now and then you could find a gem, but it's super hard. Burton, Davis, Glass, Brooks, Gilliam, Battle, and Tony Smith. That was a weak pack. So you never know. Never know. It's the fun of collecting. Fun of collecting cards is part of it's the search. You can have all the money in the world, buy all the key cards that you want, but part of it is the search. And actually, if you guys, what do I do with that? Up 34. Oh, almost thought it was Rick Mahorn. Yeah, he was a dirty player. He was kind of like a Rambier or Lambier kind of guy. There you go, James Worthy. Yeah, it's centered pretty dang close. Left to right and top to bottom. Might be a hair off top to bottom. This would be one of those 995 kind of, or 9510s kind of grading. So, like I said, I'll cherry pick these and go through. Go through them a couple times actually, and then get them ready for a PSA order. I'll be sending out a few of them here shortly, so I'll do some preview videos on my other channel. Some of them are some big ones, nice ones. KJ, Owens rookie. Tyrone Muggsy Bogues. Matumbo. Orton was Malone, Hall of Fame's kind of like the other pack. Warridge. Hornacek was good. Doug Smith. But here's one of my ones I want to send in. It's the 98 Topps Chrome. It's off top to bottom, but I don't know if they'll pass it or not. There's no scratches. But yeah, I picked this up a long time ago for that price. This card in a 9, I think it's got a 9. $200 bucks. That's what it's going for right now. So very, very good deal on that one. So that'll be going off in my economy shipping, not bulk. That'll be in the where I pay the $20 one. But there's my Tumbo. But I got some other big cards I'll be sending out in that order, so I'll do a video on that. See what comes back. What, 2-3 months, something like that. Chuck Pearson, Chris Mullen, Hall of Fame. His stuff's so undervalued. See, this is Benoist rookie. Chapman All-Stars, Dominique, BJ. That one's just off a little bit left to right, but that's pretty dang close. That's a good card. So I'll go through these again later on. But nope, 91. And Jordan, just for you guys' basic idea of whoever, when you guys watch this video, what is it? Today's 5/20/2020, and you have yeah, so the Provisions must be in the regular Series 1. So I would have hit those. I would have hit something by now. Oh, rough guess is which I thought was in this, the All-Star game with the Jordan and PSA 10. Those are about 115, 120. The boys ones are going for about 70. And the main Jordan one that's in Series 1, yeah, those are going for about 150 right now. So, and these league leaders and the other ones, those are, I think the league leaders one goes, I like to say that's in the 75 or 80 range or something like that right now. Charles Thomas, actually I played, he's actually Carl and Charles Thomas, the brothers, both played in the NBA. Actually I was in a men's league. It was like an upper end men's league, and it was they had a team, so they would come and play. It was kind of fun. Watching them play and going, oh yeah, I played against that guy. See, in the pros, they were average, but in the Kerr, in our league, they were awesome. They'd come in and against a good team, and like our team had a lot of shooters, so he went nuts on our team. He goes, "Oh, you want to shoot? I'll shoot." So you do that and take it to the hole, and he could score 30. Oh, we got a good one in back. Yep, another Dominique. So let's just pull that right off. Close center and left, right, top to bottom, but off. It's probably like a 9, high 8, 9, something like that. But it's good pulling these limited edition ones. Pretty cool. Yeah, Thomas brothers were great to play against. John Williams. There's a Stockton. Oh, here goes a Hurt. Ewing, Campbell. Close. Ewing's off. Yep, these are all off top to bottom. So these are a lot of these are gonna be 8s. Gakis, Evanson, Antoine Carr. He was a good player. Pretty solid. Played some defense. He'd bump you. He'd bump you around. He's part of the old Spurs. But Joe Patrick Ewing, same thing with him. He liked doing the elbows with you. He wouldn't mind bumping you with his elbows. But any big men back then, they were taught to bend their elbows like this while they're moving around. I mean, it's typical now, but back then it was really big. They would really make some space by squaring out. Instead of having your arms like this, they would square out, and they'd make their space. And then as they're going up, they would straighten out. That way you can get the length on the ball when they go up and dunk it, or do a little. Especially with Ewing, he had a little bit of a hook. Casey Jones, Monroe, Terry Mills, Lane Watt, Otis Thorpe was a solid player. Scoot, Crick Hodges, Hanson, Williams. Alright, that's a weak pack. Alright, guys, we're almost done. Thank you for hanging in there. So, if you want to like, subscribe, I'll be doing a lot more videos. I'll be doing some more basketball. I got a bunch of some hoops, skybox, and some other good stuff coming here shortly. See, his rookie card is so undervalued. So undervalued. Becky Pierce, Adams, it's Coleman, he was a team leader, but rookie. Scott Skiles, another Michigan State guy. Coach, and he's actually had a good after the career. Here's one of the cards you want. This was just a hair off left to right, and then top to bottom. So this one was 8 9s. That's good slide in as a 9. I don't think I'd get a 10 on this. It's because of the left to right. It's pretty close, but the top to bottom, you tell is a bit off. But might sneak in as a 9. Campbell, Mitch Richmond, Turner, Lang. We got another special insert. I'd like to get one of these in a 10. That's off left to right. It's got some of the chipping over here, too. Trying to get this focus for you. You kind of see it right there. It's off top to bottom also. Getting them. Just, I think there's only one of these, or maybe two out of what, 5 or 6 of these that actually are going to end up being gradable. So, play it by ear. Kevin McHale, Hall of Famer. Bedford, Sabatos again, and another Richmond. Yeah. So you do get some Hall of Famers, even this update series. And then, so it's worth it. You just don't get all of them. McHale, left to right's good, just top to bottom. But he's underrated Hall of Famer too. His early cards, I got some in PSA 10s I'm selling for 87 flare and 88 flares. So if you're interested, hit eBay, you'll find them. Numa Sports 138. But his stuff was underrated. Tree Wolves, look at it. Whole slew of rockets right there. Boom, boom, boom. Casey King, rookie, Williams, Randy White, Grayer, Mike Brown, Gaddison. So I'll go through, and even these rookies for this year, if their card gets a 10, they have value because that's their rookie year. So it's not like $100 value or $50 value. You know, you get a rookie in a 10. You're looking at that 18 to 25 range. Depends on who it is. Let alone what team. Cheeks, Steve Smith, Sloan. See, his coach cards even have value. Shinsis, Kurt Rambis, Rich King, Dana Barros. There's one we haven't hit yet. A Mullen like that. Vinny Green, Vinny. Vinny was a pretty good player. Xavier, he was a little hot-tempered guy. There you go. All-Star, Ewing, New York Knickerbockers. Those of you guys that know about the basketball, or about Knickerbockers. But, yeah, pretty good card. Yeah, 1 second, let me open up some more of these. So these I put in my boxes to be as a to be graded, but in retrospect, they go to be graded, but just because they're stars or Hall of Famers or whatever. But then I have another box that actually is like the best of the best that I'll put the 10s in and so on. At one point I'll go through the other box, and then if anything, prices go up, then I start pulling out the 9s and then get them graded. But that's that's how I work it. I like to get the pack pulled ones. Compared to like buying lots from people. Some of the lots you get at like flea markets and so on, they're not worth paying $5 for 2 boxes of them. Mark Fox, Kobe's friend. There's James Worthy, Evan Robertson, very underrated player if you look at his stats. What was it? He was an all-star in '86, I think it was. I'm thinking '86, no, '88. He was a couple-time all-star, if I'm thinking right. He was a very consistent player. Same with Brad Daugherty. Brad Daugherty kind of reminds me of the Bruce Willis type. Or, not Bruce Willis. Hawks. Kevin Willis. Mutombo, Livingston, Dale Ellis. Dale Ellis was a good player, too. Got a print mark on it. There on the top right. Right above my thumb. Oh, yeah, Dale Ellis was pretty good. Remember that Dale Ellis. Was Reggie. There were a lot of good teams back then. A lot of good teams. You had the Seattle. You had Cavaliers. You had Philly. You had Boston. Then you had Boston, Chicago, and in LA. And then you had Utah. Who else was there? Indiana was good then during this time. Golden State had what was it? Richmond, Hardaway, Mullen. I mean, there's some solid teams back then. There's another Mutombo. Ooh, this one looks really good. This one looks really good. Centered top to bottom and left to right. So I'll go through it again. That one has one's a possible 10 candidate. Sweet. Another Moses. Oh, this is a good pack. This one's off center a bit left to right, but top to bottom. So that was the key to this box, is a top to bottom. So we're coming into this stack, and looks like this was cut in a different batch. So we can get a Jordan and the rest of this stack, then we'll be could be golden. Doug West, Shays, his corner. Just the rest of the shavings. Shays, Kessler. All right. All right. Let's see what we can pull. Yep, here goes an all-star. Another team leader pack. Let's see what we got. Got Dominique, Chapman. There's Horace. So we got Dominique, Chapman, Horace, Cut, Keith Owens, Ellis, Anderson, Sean Elliott, good player, KJ, Lionel Simmons. Heck, went kind of downhill. But this one actually looks pretty damn good. Just a hair off left to right. Top to bottom looks sweet. Sharp corners. So this one, I might take a shot at this one. I look at it again, and yeah, it's a 9-10. Depends on if they give you that little bit on the centering or not. Obviously, most things, and just about all these, I didn't take a look at the backs. So, but these ones, the backs are lighter. It's easier. You don't see all the crazy chipping. See, this one's got it's another checklist. This checklist actually looks centered. Definitely centered. What else is on this? Bullets. It's got the team leaders with Michael on it. So yeah, this one actually might go in and get graded as a checklist. You'd think, well, what could this get? Well, it's got Michael on it. So this could be those that, and a 10 could be 50 plus. But it's centered like perfect. On the back it isn't, but the front it is. So that's a good one. Potentially good one. Alright. Almost done. Stewart, Wingate, Williams, Charles Smith, Kerr, Shackelford, Jason Williams, Derek Harper, who's a good player, Moen, and Pearson. Like that Pearson. Pretty good centered. This Moen's pretty good centered. It's a good little stack here. Yeah, this Moen looks like could be a 10. Look at it. Top to bottom looks good. Left to right looks good. So I'll take another look at the corners and everything, and it looks good. Send it in. Comes back a 10. It's about probably about a $25 card. All right. See if we can't get one more of those limiteds. Yep, see, these are some players we haven't really hit. Tony Campbell, I think that's the first one of him. Patrick Ewing. Newman, Carr, Rasmussen, Hansen. There we go. Got one more. Matumbo. So Ewing. Totally off top to bottom. Alright. There's Matumbo. This one looks fairly center. It's kind of like got a white tip and it's off top to bottom. So it's a darker border card. So it depends on how they put this in the shuffler or not. I think that's why on two of those other ones the edges were the way they were. So the back should be pretty fine on this. It's just the front because they're really dark. Pretty hard on those. Those prices actually are up there. They're like, I can't remember if that was the one I looked at where it was like 90 something or 130 something. Looked at them earlier today. Oh, there we go. First one of this. The Pip. Everybody hated Pippin, but I always liked Pippin. Everybody loved Michael, but I always liked Pippin. Even back in the day. Everybody hated him, though, for whatever reason. But if you watch the documentary, good reason why he kind of had a chip on his shoulder and had a little bit of an attitude. When you don't sign a longer contract and you take a pay cut, but in order to secure money for your family, and then the guy that you took a pay cut, and the guy that they bring in actually is making more than you, even though you're one of the stars. This is the time when Michael left for those couple years. Yep, he definitely had a chip. So he stayed around. Michael came back, and they did their duty. Won a bunch in a row, and called it good. Oh, here we go. Finally get one of these. All right. So we got Larry Johnson. This is an all-star one I was telling you about. It's off left to right and top to bottom. Yeah. Not this isn't off to where you want to be an OC, but it's said it's not one where you'd be an OC, but it's off enough where it'd probably be an 8. Robinson, Stockton. Now these would be OC. See how that is compared to that? These definitely would be OCs. So the only time these come into play, OCs would be, say this comes back as a 9 OC, because it won't be a 10 OC. Is half the price, so pretty much like a 7. So these will stay in my box for a long time, unless somehow, some reason those get a run. But usually 9s or OCs are about third to half, depends on how big the star is of what the price would be. So in order to get these graded, those cards got to go up. That's how come you'll see in like 88, 89, or 87, 88 flare, you'll see the OCs and you'll see the price is about half, which is typically, it's going to be, so if the 9 OC would be, say, in the 86 flare, you're looking at the price between an 8 and a 7, typically. But it's just part of the game. All right, so those are those. Show you the Jordans. Got the All-Star game. Probably an 8. Oop, that's not a Jordan. Let me pull these out real quick. All right, checklist looks highly centered, except for the back. They're really centered. That's got the Jordan on it. All right, so we got a couple team leaders and all-star. So we got an all-star, it's off a little bit top to bottom. So that's probably going to be a 9 at best. That one actually has a shot, left to right and top to bottom. It's a hair off left to right. So that one has a shot. That's like a 9 to 10 kind of range. And the 10s in these are, like say $60, $80, something like that. So actually I could send this in, gets a 10, pays for the box, and everything else is bonus. This one's off top to bottom. That's probably an 8. And that one's probably an 8. They're not off. They're not as far off as example like Stockton, where that'd be an 8 OC or something like that as an example. But yeah, so these ones probably 8s. The money on this box for the Jordans is that one. So that one's probably a 9. That one looks like a 10. That one's probably an 8. Those are the Jordans. And for the inserts, let's see, we got 2 Dominique, 3 Mutombo. It's got some white little spots on the edge. Off center, left to right, top to bottom's good. That's probably a 9 or 8. Left to right, some whitish there, off top to bottom. That's probably about an 8. It's got that up there. You can see that. Off left to right, top to bottom's good. That's probably an 8. Left to right's off, top to bottom's off. That's probably an 8. And this one's got that white edge right here, where my thumb's at on the left. You can see it right there. Yeah, that card just has. I think it would have a shot, but that's probably one of those that might come back just a 7 and be happy. So I'll only send in maybe 1 or 2 of those. But you had all these other ones between team leaders. Here's your stars. Team leader, team leader, team leader. Kale, Richmond, Johnson, Campbell. Why did I do that one? Because that was the first one that popped to that one. Team leader, Robinson, Stockton, checklist. You can see there's a bunch of team leaders. That's mainly in this update. So it's being able to pull out the ones that can be a 10. There's the Sean Kemp one. Left to right is pretty good. Top to bottom's a little bit off, so that's probably like a 9. But there's a bunch of them in here. Stockton, same thing. It's left to right. It's probably 8 or 9 range. Barkley, team leader Stockton. There's a bunch of them in here. Yep. Reggie. That one actually looks really, really good. What's funny is I opened up a box of hoops, and the ones that kept coming up where it was pretty square, pretty solid and centered and everything, was the Reggies. It's kind of funny. It's ironic. Team leader, Byron, Moses, Mutombo, Stockton, Worthy, Coleman, Hakeem, league leader, different version of it. And our last ones. Got that. Richmond, Dumars, Hakeem, Kenny, Bird, Barkley, Clyde, Checklist, Dumars. Yeah, that was the one that looked really centered also. And Vladi. So, if you liked it, there you go. Like I said, here's your limited edition ones. Dominique and Mutombo. Here's your Jordans, and with a shot at being the best one. And like I said, it was fun. It was fun. That's the only box side of these. I'll probably see if I can't find some more, unless the prices like skyrocketed or something. But I appreciate you guys all for watching, joining. I know it's kind of a long video, but hopefully enjoy the conversation there. And like I said, I might do one of the skyboxes live, one of the hoops ones live. I got 2 Series 1 and 2 Series 2. And then skybox for the 90, or it might have been 89. I think it's 90. I got Series 1 and Series 2 of that to open up. I'm going to do videos on. So, but thank you guys all for joining, and we'll catch you later. Peace.